He like you.
It's mating season out here at the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Bagpipe mating season.
One time at bar camp where all the bars you go. Honestly, can we be serious for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
This one time at bar camp where the blues blow, tunes all the drums go around.
Oh, wow.
Sharp beat that will never be flat.
Charisma is your highest stat at the camp where the bars all go.
And when you're at bar camp, we sing this very song. And just like at bar camp, now you're all plus one. This one time at bar camp, it was really amazing. I was sitting out late one night, just kind of hanging out, and I overheard two girls having a conversation. They were comparing different brass players at bar camp and their kissing abilities. The one girl said, "Oh, I had a date the other night with a trumpet player." "Well, how was it?" "It was okay, but his kissing was really, really forceful and too firm." "Well, what about you?" "Well, I had a date with a tuba player. His kissing was very slobbery, very open, very, very fatty and disgusting, not likable at all." Then a third girl joined and said, "Well, I went on a date with a French horn player." And they said, "How was it?" "Well, I'll tell you what, his kissing was so-so, but I loved the way he held me." This one time at bar camp where all the bars you go. This one time at bar camp where the lute is plucked and the lute is blown. Tunes on the drums go rat-a-tat-tat, be sharp, be natural, never be flat. Charisma is your highest stat at the camp where the bars all go. When you're at bar camp, we sing this very song. And just like at bar camp, now you're almost one.
This one time, after bar camp got out for the week, all of the instructors who happen to be graduate students at the local school decided to go and have themselves a drink, because we all know that the only way that alcoholics deal with their musicians deal with their problems is by drinking them away. So they went to the local pub and they all sat down for a little while and they were having themselves a nice tall one. And Pete, the polymorphing petulant piccolo player who would later give up piccolo playing to pursue polymorphing solely, raise a family and a dog, was having himself a nice tall drink when all of a sudden a bad monkey swung down from the rafters, landed in front of him, and took a piss right into his beer. Well, this put Pete, the petulant polymorphing piccolo player, off pretty badly. So he stood up and he said, "Hey, barkeep, do you know whose bad little monkey this is?" And the bartender says, "Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. That belongs to the minstrel lutenist, Craig Farrington, who's right over there behind you, playing his heart out." And then Pete looked over his shoulder, and lo and behold, there was minstrel lutenist Craig Farrington playing on a stage not much bigger than this, just in the corner of the bar. The reason Pete hadn't noticed this before was because a lute as an instrument meant only to be played 1.5 foot from its intended audience, no more, no less. Not loud enough otherwise. Anyhow, so he walks over to the minstrel lutenist Craig Farrington and he says, "Hey, minstrel lutenist, do you know your monkey just pissed in my beer?" And the minstrel lutenist stops and thinks for a moment and goes, "No, but if you hum a few bars, I might be able to play it for you."
This is one time at bar camp where all the bars you go. This one time at bar camp where the lute is plucked and the lute is blow. Tunes on the drums go rat-a-tat-tat, be sharp, be natural, never be flat. Charisma is your highest stat at the camp where the bars all go. When you're at bar camp, we sing this very song. And just like at bar camp, now you're all plus one.
So we had an exchange student fly all the way in from a very long way away to take some bass lessons at bar camp.
Oh, God.
And so, yeah, right.
Oh, God.
And so his father is checking up on him very religiously because it is very expensive to fly people out to bar camp. So he messages his son on the first day. He says, "What did you learn today?" And he says, "Well, today we learned all about the A string. This one right here." And he's like, "Oh, that's pretty good. Great. Well, we'll check in tomorrow." And the next day, his father calls in and says, "Well, what did you learn today?" And he says, "Today we learned all about the E string. This one right here." And the father says, "Well, that's great. It seems like you're learning at a pretty slow rate." He says, "Well, you know, we just have to work this way at bar camp." He says, "All right, fine." Calls him again on the third day. He goes, "These lessons are getting incredibly expensive. What are you doing today?" And he's like, "Well, I know the A string and I know the E string. So because of this, I already got 3 gigs."
This is one time at bar camp where all the bars you go. This one time at bar camp where the lute is plucked and the lute is blow. Tunes on the drums go rat-a-tat-tat, be sharp, be natural, never be flat. Charisma is your highest stat at the camp where the bars all go. And just go at bar camp, we sing this very song. And just like at bar camp, and now you're all plus one. This is the tale of Itzo the Bard. One day, Itzo the Bard was trapped on a desert island for 10 long years. He was a very sad bard because he was stuck out there for so long. After 10 years, one of the sirens comes up on shore, beautiful and blue and just very, very luscious to look at. And she walks up to him and from over one shoulder pulls out a bag of holding and says, want to have, when was the last time you had a nice smoke? And she pulls out a nice fat stogie, and he says, oh my God, I can't believe this is excellent. And he started smoking. This tastes wonderful. Thank you so much. Then she unwraps a second bag of holding, and from out she pulls a nice, frothy mug of ice cold beer. He says, oh, good God, this is amazing. This is wonderful. And as she starts putting off her blue, silky siren dress, she says to him, so Bard, you really ready to have some real fun? And he says, good God, woman, don't tell me you've got a trombone in there. This one time, where all the parts you go. This one time.
Oh God, it's so good.
This one
Charisma is your highest hand, and where the words all go. If you're at Park Camp, we sing this very song. And just like at Park Camp, what time is it, Dan?
We've got 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
That's right.
3 minutes.
Half of a verse.
3 minutes. Here's a joke for Dan and I here. How do you tell if your bass player is dead? Who cares? Where all the parts can go. This one time at Park Camp, I lift this bucket of this boat. Two color runs go round and down, be sharp, be natural, never be flat. Charisma is your highest stat, and get where the words all go. If you're at Park Camp, we sing this very song. And just like at Park Camp, now you're all plus one.
So that's our show, everyone. I'm Dan the Bard.
I am Dylan Robertson.
I'm gonna go die and they'll never notice. I came out unscathed! Yeah!
Somehow the drummer, we gotta fix that.
I love Torchberry Catchment. Anyway, we're D&D Advanced 2nd Edition, so make sure you stick around. We have tip jars available. And CDs available, 6 of them. 2 are focused on Dungeons & Dragons, 2 on Renaissance folk music, 2 on storytelling. So see me about those, there's lots of crossover. We hope you have a great day. I'll be back here at 3 o'clock for the Dan the Bard Request Show, 5:15 for the Ren Quest Campfire Show. There's no campfire, it just feels that way. And 6:15 Music Rubble.
I have a show at 5:30 with Moon and the Magnificent.
Yay! This one time at Park Camp, where all the parks can go.
This one time at Park Camp, well, this bucket of this blow. Two programs go round and tat, be sharp, be natural, never be flat. Charisma is your highest stat, and again where the birds all go. And when you're at Park Camp, oh, we sing this very song. And just like at Park Camp, now you're all plus one. And if you're at Park Camp and tip us a buck or two, then just like at Park Camp, then you'll be plus 2.
And if you're at Park Camp and buy a CD, then just like at Park Camp, then you'll get plus 3.
Bass players suck.